drop. 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 GM, everybody. How are we doing today? Trust we're all good. Welcome to another episode of Onchain Africa, sorry, by AfroPlay. And it's always a great privilege to be on the screen or your screen, by the way. And like I'd always say, I'm always happy to be in front of you guys. And just in case you don't know, my name is Benjamin, but I'm also known as Web3 Bull here on Onchain Africa and here in the Web3 space in general. And just in case you don't know what we do here on Onchain Africa, one of our major activities is that we speak to African founders building on chain or using the blockchain technology. And aside from the fact that we speak to these guys, we also try to tell their story, understand their product, what they are building, why they are building it, why should people pay attention to what they are building. And aside the founders and the products, we are also focused on you, our audience. All right, we always look forward to inspiring you guys, to motivating you guys to actually also build something that if these guys could build something from Africa, from Nigeria, then you also can build, because I mean, we're all going through the same power issues, internet issues, government issues, societal issues, a lot of issues, even family issues still. All right, we still experience all of this all together. And amongst all of this, or in the middle of all of this, these guys, these brilliant guys also take out time to build something that could actually change our lives and make our life a lot easy. And we host our live stream every week, minimum of 2 times every week. That's on Mondays and Wednesdays or Thursdays. Like I think like this week we have 3 live streams, including today, and we have on Wednesday and on Thursday. So it's a packed week for me as a person, and it's also a packed week for you too. All right. So if you are yet to retweet the live stream, I could always beg you guys. This is the only favor I would always ask, and I will always ask by the grace of God, which is that you just click the retweet button. If you're watching us on YouTube, copy the link and post it on WhatsApp status or somewhere. And if you are joining us on X, do well to retweet it. And if you are joining us on Facebook, you can retweet it or repost it on your Facebook status, or still copy the link and post on whatever social media platform it is you use. All right. So do not forget to like and share as usual. All right. So if you have any question that you would love to ask any of our founders that we have, please feel free to ask your questions in the comment section. We're more than glad to take your questions and to do justice to whatever question. Someone looks very, very up close today. I don't know why one went wrong, but please just bear with me for today's live stream. I'll fix this before Wednesday's live stream. My head looks so big. Or am I going bigger or fatter? Regardless, let's go down to our guest. Okay, I think our guest just left now. He was here a second ago. All right, so let's give him a moment to jump back in. Today we are having the founder of, he's here with us. Okay, sharp. I didn't just want to just let the cat out of the bag first. So since it's back, so let me just bring it up. Hello, Dimitri. How are you doing today, sir? I don't know if you can hear me. I think he's struggling with his internet right now. So let's hope he's able to fix that. All right, so since he's not here yet, so we'll just go ahead to talk about what he's building. So Dimitri is actually the founder of Dextopus. All right, he's the founder of Dextopus. I don't know, is he here? Let me just send him a DM actually. Oh, finally. Looks a lot better now. So like I said, I think he's actually struggling with his internet. So I'm just trying to fix our camera. All right, so I think our camera is a lot better now. Okay. All right, so by the way, while we wait for him to join us briefly, So, like I said, sorry for repeating myself if I'm repeating myself unnecessarily. So, like I said, Dimitri is the founder of Dextopus, which is is an interesting platform that we should all check. Okay, trying to connect. All right, so he actually told me now that he's actually having network problems, so he's trying to change his location and see. So we'll just give him some minutes to fix that. And just in case you do not know, currently we have our website currently live, and this is something I would always brag about because okay, I think is here. Hello, sir, are you here? I'm sorry, I can't hear you. Mm, no, I can't actually. I think probably just check your or can you join on your phone? You can actually join on your mobile device if that's not working. So you can just use the same link I sent to you on your mobile phone and you can join on your mobile device. I think it's easier that way because you will not have to struggle with internet and audio. Okay, so I just sent him a message that he could join with his mobile device now. So like I was saying, Windows. So yeah, currently our website is live. No problem. So currently our website is live and we've made a lot of tweaks and updates here and there to just make it more interesting for our users who that want to explore the African ecosystem and all of that. So like we'd always say, our initial foundation as Afroplay, we started as a gaming guild. So we just new recently expanded to Onchain Africa. So we have the two platforms currently live for gaming and for Onchain Africa. So since it's Onchain Africa, let's just dive into Onchain Africa. So currently we have the website currently live and running, and we are currently making some changes. I thought that this was updated by the way. I don't know why it's not updated yet, but I think I'll just fix that after the live stream where you can catch up with all of our previous guests. All right, so it depends on. I will create a more like a filter session here where you can actually switch to whatever project that you are more interested in. So we have payment and fintech here. We have gaming, we have DeFi, we have infrastructure, we have NFT, and we have several things that should actually interest you. All right. So if you are someone interested in particular categories of the Nigerian Web3 ecosystem, you can easily switch in between tabs here and just find that which fits you and probably just resonates with you more. All right. And you can always, if you're a builder, if you're a founder, please do well to join our Telegram community, which is strictly for Web3 founders, African founders. So if you're not a founder, if you're not a builder, please don't bother joining because everything we are going to be sharing there is actually niched down to builders. All right. So we talk about grants, we talk about opportunities where we can help projects actually scale with visibility. If there's any support that a project need from Afroplay, I think this one go to spot where we ask people to share and we are able to support them in our own little way. So you can just do well to follow our website down and also do well to also follow all our social media platforms. We are currently live on Spotify. So if you're not a video kind of person, you can listen to the audio of these live streams, or let me call it podcast on Spotify. So it's available, and also our platforms are as listed down here. Or if you go to the top part of the screen on the website, you see also our website, our social media handles here also. All right, so please, if you are here to explore that, do well to do that now. So I don't know if Demichi is back. Dimitri, are you back now? So I think he's still trying to fix that. So while we wait for him, we're just going to a very short break. Uh,
Drop.
Hello, sir. How far? How's it going? Dimitri, can you hear me? Okay, I'm coming now. Let me just try to bring you. Wait, sorry, I'm coming. I can't hear you. All right, sorry. Can you now speak, sir? I don't know. For some weird reasons, you are not audible. I can't hear you. Sorry, are you on your laptop? Sorry, I can't. Please, can you join on your phone? I think your laptop audio is not, probably the driver is outdated, so that's why I can't hear you. So can you just join on your phone so that it's going to be, I don't have to struggle with the Kimi. Thank you. All right, so can you try speaking now, sir?
Yes, can you hear me?
Yeah, finally, loud and clear. I
Is it better
can.
now?
A lot
Yeah.
better.
Okay.
Thank you. I think the problem was from the laptop then. Probably the driver has expired, so it just needs you to update it a bit and you should be fine. All right, how are you doing today, sir?
Okay. I'm good. How are you doing, fam?
My brother, I'm doing very, very well. Thank you so much. Just trying to enjoy the weather as much as possible. And so quickly, just like we are already 18 minutes past our regular, sorry, 20 minutes past our regular time, and we just have barely about 40 minutes or thereabout to just dive into and talk about dextopus protocol. So, but before we dive into the project itself, we'd always love to know about the founders, the builders, and the people behind the project. All right, so we just need to quickly introduce yourself, what you were doing before you started building dextopus, what inspired it, what your journey has been like as a builder, as a founder, and just basic things about yourself, sir.
Okay, so I am Michelle Obio, and in Web3 space, I'm called Divici.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, why do I build? I build because I see a lot of problems around me, and there are not a lot of daring people to attempt them. So I choose to be one of the contributors, not the users, and try to solve some of these problems that we see around ourselves daily. And eventually, on the journey of doing that, we eventually create what's called a product. And why? Why am I doing this? Because I believe we deserve better lives. Yeah. Um, we, as people, as a race, as a species, we should not have to worry about complexities. And
Mm-hmm.
these problems plague us one way or the other. So why not just build a solution to it? Why wait for another person to when you can just do it? Yeah. So that's why I built to solve problems and make life easier, life better for everybody around us. The goal of making people live easier lives is why I build products.
Mm.
Before Dextopus, I was building some of my other ecosystem products at the labs. And by the way, the labs is a development and marketing agency. So we build products and we scale products. So I think before Dextopus, I was building, I think, Decane. Yeah. But I looked at the market and I looked at data actually. Yeah. So Dextopus was the most data-driven product I've ever built up until this point. So we looked at what the numbers were saying, and we decided that okay, you know what, this product will be perfect to solve this unique problem that exists in the ecosystem at this point. So yes, we embarked the journey to actually this was the point where we changed the brand voice of Dexibus. So we decided to move over from just a regular bridge aggregator into a cross-chain assessment layer.
Mm.
And yeah, we had analyzed data and seen that okay, so what the market does suffer from cross-chain settlement, not bridging. So we rebranded and decided to niche down or rather focus on that particular market and solve for it. So yeah, the rest is history.
All right, all right. Thank you so much for that. Do appreciate the brief intro about yourself and the labs also, what you guys have done over the years. It's actually amazing to hear you guys have been building and shipping things for a while now. So let's just head down and talk about Dextopus a little bit more. All right, so for someone just hearing about Dextopus for the first time or hearing you speak about Dextopus for the first time, now in layman terms, what is Dextopus and why should they care about what you're building?
Okay, can you still hear me?
Yeah, I can still hear you loud and clear.
Okay, so what is Dextopus?
Mm-hmm.
Dextopus is a cross-chain settlement layer. What we do is that we allow users to interact and put in money, deposit money, and withdraw money from a product to their favorite blockchain. So I'll come again. Dexibus allows you as a crypto user to deposit from any chain that you're coming from into the product of your choice, as long as they have our infra on their platform. And also from the other side, Dexibus also allows you as a user to withdraw money from any product to your favorite chain. So what we do is we solve the bottleneck of having to bridge or having to swap. With Dexibus, you don't need to swap first, you don't need to bridge first before you can use the product. As long as the product has Dexibus in its stack, you can essentially just you can essentially just get a deposit address, either a QR code or or a wallet address, and you can send money into that wallet address. Let's say you generate an EVM address for
Mm-hmm.
a Solana product. So once you send money to that EVM address, it will still land into the Web3 product, even though the product is a Solana product. So we make it so that EVM guys can interact with Solana guys or people that are holding Bitcoin can interact with an EVM product. People that are holding USDT on Tron, people that are holding people that are holding Binance Smart Chain, they can interact with a Tron or a Celo product. They can actually interact with a Solana product. They don't need to first worry about bridging their funds from the chain that they are on to the chain that the product is available on. So with Dextopus, you don't need to worry about bridging. You can just integrate. If you're a builder watching this, you can just integrate Dextopus into your system, and users on any chain can put in money into it. It would convert into what you need, and the money will keep flowing in your architecture as it's supposed to be. So yeah.
All right, so I think this is quite interesting. So first of all, I would love to know this is more of a B2B product, right?
Yes, dextopus is heavily B2B.
All right. Okay, so this is actually majorly for builders, people trying to, just scale a product and all of that, not just regular users and things like that. All right. So now let's say that someone is building something now, and I see you guys are trying to solve the bottleneck of bridging and swapping, right? All right. So let's talk about the security aspect of what you're building so far, because it's really a huge issue when it comes to security. When you're talking about security, because over the years I've been in the space for the longest, and we know how many acts has happened this year alone. So let's say how secured, how you guys build your security that a business can trust your infrastructure.
Okay, so dextopus was not built to um dextopus was not built to solve the problem of security, quote unquote. Um, Web3 is constantly evolving, and so is the security approach, and also is the attempt of hackers to destroy whatever security a product or a protocol can think of coming up with. So
Yeah.
we know that Web3 is the bridging industry is innately dangerous. So what's our plan to tackle that is to or rather, not our plan to tackle that. Our plan, what we have in place to tackle that, is to manage multiple providers. Yeah, because Dexpos itself does not own any smart contracts. We are not an attack vector. Nobody can hack us and bring us down because we do not store or hold user funds at any point in time. Yeah, we only move it. And the choice of moving it is now where the security concerns come in. We use audited contracts, audited partners to move these tokens and these assets. And also we have what's called redundancy in our partners list. So we have multiple partners that we put, and in case anything happens to any one of them, we can easily just swap them out for another. And also we do that in a way that does not bring down the system, because if a hack happens and one partner is down, we just need to pause that guy and transactions can keep going on text to pause efficiently through the other guys that are safe. So anytime that the suppose can quote unquote go down, it's when like all our current bridge partners and the ones we plan on integrating in the future go down, when all of them go down simultaneously.
All right, thank you so much for that. So you guys, you just said that you guys don't handle money, or you don't have a personal contract of your own, which I think that's pretty much interesting. So just lead me down to understanding. I'd love to understand your tech or the technology behind Dextopus, because it sounds very complex to some extent. All right, but also founders, no matter how complex it is, every founder, every builder has their areas of strength. All right, and they would love to understand. Okay,
Yeah.
all right. So why is this really for them? Okay, why is this really very important for me to incorporate this in my infrastructure? All right, and are you guys targeting particular sectors in the Web3 space, maybe probably like off-ramping sectors, or the reward assets, or the DeFi sector, or you guys can be broadly used literally by anyone building, and can build on top of what you guys have done so far?
Okay, so the infrastructure at Dextopus is very, very interesting because it was built for scale and it was built to handle the whole of Web3. Yeah, we have our Rails support any product in the Web3 space on any chain. Yeah, in fact, we have over 74 chains that we handle settlement on, or that we handle settlement across, either to and fro, and users can use Dextopus on any of these systems. One of the interesting things I forgot to mention about Dextopus is the fact that it allows you monetize every interaction. So any business that has Dextopus in their system can earn additional revenue. And the funny thing about this whole situation is that at the end of the day, the user will pay less to a system that is making money on its own and has true Dextopus than they would pay when bridging or swapping on a DEX or a bridge. So the setup is done in a way that it is good, is better for you as a business, yeah, because that way you are exposed to more users, you're exposed to more revenue aside from your existing business model. Plus, Plus, it's a win-win for your users too, because that way they pay lower fees compared to when they bridge, and also they get a top-notch experience, which is just clicking deposits and copying address. With a bridge, um they have to first find the bridge that is currently up at that time, and then connect wallets, manage the entire bridging process. Sometimes they take a long time and all of that, but with Netflix, you don't need to worry about any of that. Yeah. Before,
Okay.
and mind you, with the bridge, you have to do all of this process before funding the products that you actually intended to use. So yeah, you asked concerning the sector. Right now, we are niching down on on the perpetuals sector. Yeah. Um, because of the fact that every company needs a direction at its early stage. But the fact this had even changed. Yeah, we got more data and we've decided to focus on this as a business decision. Previously, we were focused on the new bank sector where people were using dextopus to the payment sector where people were using dextopus to either accept more tokens in their new banks, or even using it underneath their on-ramping partner or on-ramping service, where they use dextopus to allow their users bring in any token and it gets converted to naira, or they use it was even used in cross-border. We have some partners in cross-border sector where they use dextopus as the medium of connecting multiple markets to each other. So because when you're building a cross-border payment solution, you can either build it by having like reserves in different countries bank accounts, yeah, or you build it on top stablecoin rails. Yeah. So if you build it on top stablecoin rails, you can just essentially have a settlement token, like let's say USDC on Solana, and you connect that to a ramping partner, like an on-ramp partner. So if you do that, you can essentially power things like, okay, a user in Nigeria wants to pay a merchant in India. So to achieve that kind of flow, you need the Nigerian naira to USDC Solana on ramp, and USDC Solana on ramp to Indian currency off ramp. So that was the situation that you would have to be in just to build a cross-border payment product. But with Dextopus can be that central system that essentially makes sure that, okay, your product, your product can essentially accept payments from anywhere and go to anywhere. So remember what I explained. If it's a system without Dextopus, you'd have to integrate two different ramping partners that all accept the same settlement token. In this case, that settlement token was USDC on Solana. But with Dextopus now, you can integrate a settlement partner that accepts USDT, or one that accepts USDC on it, and when you have those kind of situations, you can even do stuff like cross settlement where somebody in Naira can pay a business in Germany. Because remember the flow I explained, Naira to Indian currencies, there can be a different one. Yeah, there can be a different one, like let's say Ghanaian I think it's shillings. What's it called? Cedi, yes. Ghanaian cedis to Singaporean dollar. There can be that, but that rails is built upon USDT. Because of the fact it's built upon USDT, you cannot move from Nigerian naira to Singapore, because remember, Nigerian naira of on-ramp partner settles in USDC, while the Singaporean guy, what he needs is USDT for it to go to him. But if you plug in Dextopus at that middle layer, it can allow settlement from any to and from any market. So we had a couple of partners, I think about 3, that were using us for that particular use case alone. But we got some information. Yeah, we did some research, and then by the grace of God, we have cracked analysts and the team. that showed us a better market to focus on. So right now we are focusing on the prediction and PEPs area. So, but ultimately, we welcome any integration. Yeah, we welcome any integration, any use case. In fact, we love it when people build unique use cases on top of dextopus infra. So yes, we are B2B, and we also support every of our partners. I mean, we do co-marketing, we do warm introductions, where we introduce partners to other partners to do business for the sake of providing value in the ecosystem.
Yeah.
And once a product reaches high, once a product processes a large amount of volume, we also introduce them to ecosystems. So likes of Solana, the likes of we're working on Robin, for example, for a couple of our partners to Robinhood. We are live on Robinhood since I think day 3. Yeah. So like this is some context towards what we do at Dextopus and how good, how awesome it is for any business to have us as partners.
All right, thank you so much for that. I think what you guys are really building, honestly, I have to agree, is very, very interesting because I've spoken to a lot of guests, I think over 20 guests so far, and this is my first time of hearing somebody building something this unique, entirely outside of the normal traditional things that people actually focused on. Like you said, you're interested in the difficult things, so I think you're a very, very hard guy, you're a tough guy. So let's talk about why you guys. I know you guys did some. I know you guys did some research and analysis before you decided to focus on niche down to prediction market and PEPs. But I would love to understand what the analytics look like, what you guys are foreseeing, what you guys are seeing to the future, why prediction market and why PEPs, why now?
I cannot give those data. Those data are
Yeah,
very, very
I know you
important
might not have to
to
go
business.
really into the details why you guys are doing that, but I'm sure there are some things that probably could share that are not really heavy and probably could just share with us.
Um, okay, so we definitely looked at market size and uh and also the opportunities. So those are the only two things I can say.
Okay, so you guys looked at the market size and the opportunity, and you guys feel, oh, this is really going to be interesting. But I really don't know, just my own thoughts, by the way, since I thought prediction market only had so much usage, so much interest. And also, from what I saw in the market, we had from the statistics given by fundraise, I think that was last week or something, or 2 weeks ago, prediction market is the second highest, most invested sector in the crypto space right now. I think that's after
Oh,
DeFi. I really can't remember, but I know that a lot of investors or VCs right now are currently looking strongly and heavily into prediction markets. And probably like what you guys have said, probably those guys still have also done their basic research or analysis and realized that this is one sector that probably should niche or focus their funds to, and because people are looking really, really interested in it. So, but me, I thought basically it was because of the FIFA World Cup. Okay, so I have the statistics here with me. Let me just quickly share my screen if possible. Yeah, I think I just found it. So looking at the statistics here, this from fundraising digest, I follow a whole lot, that says that this is from 16th of June 2026. Prediction market has about 1.25 billion dollars investment so far, and that it is followed by what's called exchanges. All right, so a lot of investors right now are looking into prediction market and after prediction market, and you can even see the gap between prediction market and AI. In my own mind, I thought AI was one area that a lot of investors will actually pay more attention to. But we can see from these statistics that prediction market has more investors and VCs looking interest in them right now, even more than people are looking at into AI and and robotics and things like that, which I feel this is actually very interesting from what I know so far. But if you're building something, regardless of that, I think you just focus and believe in what build in whatever you believe in. And as Dimitri actually said here, he said that they are really interested to see what builders are able to build using dextopus, and they are open to actually supporting as much as possible. So, I mean, this is not to make you feel bad or make you feel like you're touring the wrong part. All right. So, aside prediction markets and PEPs, let's talk about dextopus a little bit. What inspired you to build something this difficult? Like, what problem did you really see And aside from the fact that I know you want to make money, but aside from the money aspect, let's also look at what problem you saw that made you and your team start building this.
Okay, so we saw that users, we basically just noticed the behavior of users when it comes to using Web3 products. Yeah, we noticed that okay, users are more maxis, yeah, than they are um willing to try out new products on a different chain. And also we checked the experience of using a product on another chain, and it was terrible. So we decided to build a solution to that. Um Basically to make sure that okay, every Web3 product can um accept users on other chains and expose Web3 to more interoperability. Yeah. So the goal was to, as a user, you can have your funds on one chain, you can use DeFi product on another chain. You don't have to be constrained to the particular DeFi product or the products on your ecosystem alone, or you can seamlessly use a product on another chain. There's this problem, which is the fact that products on one chain, the all the users on that chain are like your total addressable market. But with a product like dextopus in your infra, you can have users on any other chain. In fact, your total addressable market grows from just the total number of users on one chain to all the users in Web3. So
Mm,
that's like to give you context.
yeah, yeah. Yeah, which I think it's a whole lot, and a lot of research that you guys actually made to actually come into that conclusion to start doing what it is that you guys are doing now with Dextopus. But let's also look at when you guys also started building this right now, and I know it was not easy. Let's just for this actually for founders and builders also wanting to learn from your own personal story. How was it like and I know you guys are still bootstrapping right now, but how was the beginning like for you guys before you started having people using your platforms, before you started having some tractions on the platform? How was the early stage for you, like for you and your team, especially when you guys were not even making any money back then?
Okay, so the early stage for us at Dexpos was just, a lot of back and forth to make sure that, okay, tech, we have the tech and the business standpoint on lockdown. And once those two were done, we just had to bury our heads on the work and make sure that, okay, the and all our plans are translated to actual products. So, yeah. After that was done, we just took it we just took the other necessary step, which is just taking the product out to market, one user at a time, one post at a time, one interview at a time, one meeting at a time. And we kept getting people on board. Right now we have about 67 businesses in our pipeline. We are live on Nightly Wallet. We have a couple of we have a couple of other big integrations that are coming up very soon. We are live on like a couple of new banks too. So yeah, just and the funny thing is that it's still the one. We still keep reaching out, still keep making posts. I'll probably still post. I'll still post about um this podcast so that we can get more people on board, get more people interested,
Yeah.
and eventually grow Dexport into a unicorn.
All right. All right. I think that's really, really amazing, by the way, because I know it's not actually easy to build something from scratch and the doubts and all of that. But let me also ask what this now personally for you, personally as a person, like what milestone did you guys actually reach that really made you so excited when you guys were building this? Like, what was that milestone that you guys got to that made you excited and made you that probably also boosted your faith in Dextopus?
So milestone. The milestone was having our first ever interested business.
Mm. Um, I think we lost Dimitri there a bit. Okay. All right, just sent 1 second. Okay. All right, so just in case you're in about dextopus for the very first time, like you said, dextopus really is a platform that solves the bottleneck of bridging for products and people trying to build. All right, so rather than people worrying, probably your users worrying about bridging from Solana to Ethereum, from Ethereum to AVAX, from AVAX to Robinhood, that could be a lot of hassle. So dextopus is that infrastructure that solves that problem. All right, so this is not really about the users or people that uses it daily and all of that, but this is about builders, people that want users to have a seamless experience on their platform. All right, so Dextopus is giving them that edge that makes it easy for their users to bring in money into their platform or move money from their platform to somewhere else with ease. And you know, right now, it's not just about you solving the problem, but how seamless do you make that problem solved, or do you solve that particular problem? All right. So you might solve a particular problem, but you might still have some bottlenecks, or people might experience some bottlenecks while using that particular solution is provided. So Dextopus just gives like 102% ease and seamlessness for users to use platform, be it DeFi, be it prediction market, be it PEPs, be it reward assets. As long as it deals with moving funds from one chain to another chain, Dextopus solves that particular problem. So while we wait for the founder to opt back in, so I would love you right now watching with us or joining us right now to do what to follow Dextopus. I'm going to be sharing their Twitter page right now. Where is it? All right, so here's their Twitter page right now. Please do well. Make sure to give them a follow. I beg. So give them a follow, so you can start to speed what they are building right now. I think they are building something really cool that you cannot actually sleep on. All right, so please do want to give them a follow right now. So we'll just take a very quick break while we wait for Damichi to join back. So let's dive right in.
Drop.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, thank you so much for joining us today. It's been an amazing time speaking with you guys. Dimitri had to run for another meeting, and it was amazing talking to him, getting to understand what they're shipping at dextopus. And I feel it's something that we should all start to pay attention to the problem that these guys are solving. So this guy is not just solving a Nigerian problem; he's solving a worldwide problem. And someone who is smart should start paying attention to what they are building at dextopus. All right, so just in case you did not see that, I shared their Twitter page here, so you can do what, follow them on X and understand what they're building, what they're solving, and see how you can also position yourself for probably future investment into what they are building at dextopus. And till we see once again in our next live stream, which is going to be holding on Wednesday, I'm your boy, Web3 Boo. And if you've not followed Afroplay on Twitter, you've not subscribed on YouTube, do that now. All right. So thank you so much once again for always joining us. Bye for now.